I be loaded. I make with me forever. I make a move on you. Loaded. Ain't gotta wait to make them moves, I be loaded. Why you out here drinking 40s, I just told it. Still that same, in a foreign, but it's stolen. Ryan sporty, acting sporty, can't control it. I'm doing fraud, got that bag, yeah, I'm transporting. I got that bag on me, yeah, like I'm transporting. He dropped the mixtape, thought I would've reposted.
Alright, A-League episode 68. This is episode 2 of the Car Pod. Someone wanted us to go somewhere last time, so this week we are in Gwinnett, home of Migos, home of, I don't know what else is in Gwinnett, but yeah.
the Gwinnett Stripers.
Oh, the Gwinnett, the Georgia Storm.
Oh, Georgia Force.
Hey, the only ones to win a championship in Atlanta or in Georgia, so shouts out to the Georgia Swarm. Throw some respect on their name. I'm thinking about the arena football team, man. We got everybody in the building. What's up, man? How y'all feeling, man?
I'm good, man. What about you, David?
Same here. Good to get here this Saturday.
It was a good week, man.
Yeah. It was a crazy week. A bunch of stuff happened. I know last week we previewed Black Panther. A couple people were saying how they agreed with us of how we acknowledge that this isn't the first black superhero movie or anything like that. So how'd y'all feel about it, man? Seeing, like, I know a couple of y'all, I know Jeremy seen it. I don't know if you seen it yet.
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Well, yeah, so see, there you go. Both of them seen it. I ain't seen it yet. So, how was it for y'all? Was it good? Was it bad? Overrated? Overhyped? Just right? What was it? Let me know.
It was a great movie. I hate using comparisons, but it's a great movie. It's one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen. It's definitely worth the hype. It's a lot of good storylines and storylines within storylines, and everybody did their part. I highly recommend anybody to watch it and legally, and and it's great to see, like, it's not really just a black movie. I love that it's inclusive. Like, when I was in the movie theater last night, I saw people of all races. This wasn't like a Tyler Perry movie when everybody looks the same. It was everybody's coming together for different causes. You got people that want to go see the movie because it's part of the Avengers storyline, and then you got people that want to see it because they support Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan being the strong lead roles. It's
Ryan Coogler.
It's great to see, like, everybody come together for it doesn't have to, nobody in the, they didn't have to compromise their vision to do this. Like, I know in the past, you see, like, movies like, it's controversial, like Egyptians with different races and stuff. This is authentic black people playing black roles, and nobody had a problem with it, which is great.
I agree with you, David. It's definitely, I would put it as the best Marvel solo movie that I've seen. I don't really think it was. I like the first Avengers better, just because of the scale of that movie and what it meant. It was like it was basically what launched and made Black Panther possible. So historically, that movie will always be the best, that first Avengers movie. But as far as like the plot, this was the most well thought out plot and the most layered storylines that we've had in the Marvel movie, because it was, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there was so many, like David said, so many different little, like, every relationship had a storyline. Every character has their own background, why, they are what they are. And I really liked how I really liked the way the women were portrayed in the movie. The women there was no woman in the movie that did not have a mind of her own. Like, every woman was a strong, independent character with her own set of opinions and her own abilities. Like, every woman in the movie had a special skill she brought to the table, and you don't really see that a lot in hero movies. Usually they're just the love interest, or they're the sidekick, but this movie, they all stood on their own. I really appreciate that about it.
Yeah, I like piggybacking off that. I like that the women weren't sexualized either.
Right.
It's just they were, like you said, showing great positive traits about them, and it wasn't seem like they were, anything less than man. It was seen as equals. Like the fact, I can't say all the spoiled, but yeah, it's great to, it's great to see that. As far as my rankings, I would say it's a fingernail better than Civil War. Like it's just, the only reason I would say it's better than Civil War is because Civil War is like a glorified Avengers movie,
right?
And he had Captain America, you had Iron Man, you had Spider-Man, you had Hawkeye, you had like practically the whole Avengers cast, except for Thor and Hulk. Meanwhile, in Black Panther, you have a whole bunch of no names, pretty much. And it's same. It's like can't say that. Well, it's great to as far as to, like I said, like even though there were lesser names, they didn't really have to rely upon. They stayed true to the story. It wasn't nothing like let's bring Iron Man in and draw some money, or let's bring Spider-Man in. They kept stayed true to the story.
Yeah, it was it's part of the universe, and you could tell that things connect to the bigger picture. But it's also, this movie was like they took Black Panther's world and made it into just about him. That's what I like. What you're saying. That's what I appreciate about it. I also appreciated the development of the bad guy. Like that's something that Marvel hasn't really done really well over the last couple movies. Civil War, the villain was awful. And Zemo was awful in Civil War. Even in the Avengers 2, Ultron was a terrible character to me. He was really weak, and he didn't have any personality. Even the Thor movie, I mean, it just goes on and on with weak, boring bad guys. This was the first time that I was like, I like this bad guy, because Killmonger really is almost. He's
Michael B. Jordan's character.
Michael B. Jordan's character. He really kind of helped carry the movie for a while, because without him, like, I'm not gonna tell the story, but if you're thinking about the importance of a villain, think Joker from Batman, the most recent Jokers, not the one from Suicide Squad. Heath Ledger.
R.I.P.
Heath Ledger, Joker. This is the kind of character that Killmonger brought to this story, and I really appreciated how Michael B. Jordan handled that role. He took it very seriously.
Yeah, I saw a clip of Michael B. Jordan in the movie. Like yesterday, I was watching the Celebrity Game, and while Cassidy Hubbarth was interviewing him, they played the clip from the movie, and he was talking about how he was like, Coogler came to him and he wanted him to be the bad guy, and he was really into it. But that clip I saw, I was like, yo, that was that was intense. He had the moves down and all that. I was like, hey, man, all right, B, I see you, bro. But now, like, kind of, all right, the movie's good. It lived up to your expectations. Now, how was David kind of hinted towards it earlier, but how was the cultural experience for like the both of you? Were they like, people wilding like they were on Twitter? How was it for you?
It was really relaxed, honestly. But I was really surprised that, there were, like David said earlier, it was a lot of mixture of people. It wasn't just, black people showing up for the movie. It was a lot of different people there for a lot of different reasons. And that's, that was what it was supposed to be. I was really happy that people came and appreciated that it was also a comic book movie, and it wasn't just about blacks and being a Black Panther movie. Right. It was, they were there, and they showed their love, but then, you had, people of all races and colors were there. And at the end of the movie, everybody stood up and gave a standing ovation. Like, I haven't seen that in many movies recently. So that was cool. That was cool to see.
Yeah, it was the same here. Like when I was in the movie theater, it was pretty relaxed. It's kind of funny. Like depending on where you go to watch a movie, you get a different experience. But I picked a predominantly black area, and surprisingly, it was pretty relaxed. And like I said, saw some different races there as well, and Yeah, one of the things I did catch was I did see some African clothing. You know, I was surprised to see that. You know, I thought just like, oh, this theater's just too laid back. You know, maybe this like it was NGC Cinemas in Marietta.
That ain't no black area.
What?
It's NCG. That ain't no black area.
You sure?
It's more black people than white people in the theater, but it ain't. I wouldn't call it predominantly black.
Shoot,
I call it predominantly black. Like
that's a jail bond shot down the street.
That's where I grew up. That's where I grew up. But it was like down the street at the Austell Road location, the Regal on Austell. That's black. The NCG in Marietta, it's a little more classy. You know what I'm saying? It's like more black people go there than white people, just because I guess like, all right, it might be more black people and Mexicans on that side of Marietta, but it's still like, NCG is nice. The Regal down the street.
No, they had no air conditioning in there.
You talking about NCG?
Yeah.
NCG where you can lean back in the seats?
No, I can't lean back in the seats.
Yeah, you can lean back. NCG Marietta on Powder Springs Road.
Yeah, High Spring Street. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, they must have changed the seat.
Come on,
that
man.
thing had no air conditioning.
It just opened in 2013.
That thing like it been around since 1913.
You don't went to a different NCG Marietta on Powder Springs.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, anybody who watch this that actually work there or go there, it's a good. You get a good bang for your buck.
I wanted to work there so bad when I was in high school. Like it opened my senior year, and they were doing like a wide thing of like a speed dating of interviews.
Oh wow!
And I'm dressed up and all that. Man, I ain't getting no call, nothing, man. And it's like I was like, dang, I can't get a job at the movie theater, and all the folks that got it, I'm like, damn.
What qualifies you to work at the movie theater?
I don't know. It's just
like what skill do you need? I mean,
I can sweep well.
I know how to make popcorn.
I'm tired
I can pour cheese.
I'm tired of people that and they don't get paid that much. So
They don't.
Like,
You gotta smile at them. But I mean, it just seemed like, I don't know why, but at that time of my life, I just felt like that was such a cool job.
I agree with you.
Like at
I wanted
16,
to work at the theater in my town. We had one open.
You inside? Because I'm thinking about, Whitewater.
Yeah.
Whitewater and Six Flags versus that. I'd rather work inside.
I mean, it's the same thing, but you inside, and you get to watch the movies.
And it's better than Waffle House, because Waffle House, you in that all that sizzle heat.
And you got crazy hours. You work at 3 o'clock in the morning because they don't never close.
I actually had an interview with Walmart. I mean, not Walmart. Waffle House when I was like 15. Yeah, I was like 15. I went in there, shirt, tie, all that. I'm speaking like this. I'm sitting up and all that. Have my resume and all that stuff. And the lady pretty much told me I was too good to work at Waffle House. And I was like, dog, I need a job.
And then when you go to another job, people tell you, well, you need experience. And then you're like, well, where do you get the experience to get the experience?
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, but you gotta.
But NCG ain't bad. That's the bottom line.
I mean, it's not. It's not as bad as Picture Show.
No, the Regal down the road.
Been a Picture Show?
No, I never been to Picture Show.
Picture Show on Merchants Exchange.
No.
Yeah,
well, let's not say just because it's black don't mean.
No, I mean you know where the movie was crazy, and they should have Magic Johnson theater up at the Greenbrier Mall. Hey, that would have been. Hey, Magic Johnson should have opened the theater up just for Black Panther. Just for this weekend, so people can watch Black Panther. It'll be acting the fool.
Man, I've seen the movie twice though. Like that's how much I loved it. Like
you seen it twice?
I've seen it twice.
You saw it Thursday and Friday?
I saw it because Thursday night I was working late, and then me and my brother went. Yeah. And my fiance couldn't make it, so I ended up taking her to see it last night. So, and I enjoyed it both times.
I might give me a ticket during the day today.
First.
But before dunk contest, all that tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth. I mean, it went from being a movie that I was excited to see. Like, I've always been more excited to see the Avenger movie, honestly. Yeah. And I really want to see how they would handle this movie. Right. But this shot to the top of my favorite, like, this is up there with Training Day for me. This is up there with Forrest Gump for me now.
Training Day, that's...
These are in the top 2 or 3 movies for me now.
Yeah, and one thing, it makes me want to visit Africa. That's one thing. It's just like, it just seems so neat. Like, I know I've had African friends who run across African people, and they talk so great about their country, and it's the sense of pride, and that was definitely reflected in the movie, and it's just, that's definitely my bucket list to visit all over Africa, not a specific country, but it's all over since it's very diverse.
You seen
something else I caught though in the movie. I hope this don't spoil it for you, Rashad. I'm not gonna drop too many plot lines, but there's something that's said in the movie that I don't know if anyone caught, or David, if you caught it, that constantly when they bring up Wakanda to people who aren't from Wakanda, they assume like, why would this country have this? Why would you be able to do this?
Oh, third world country.
They kept using that as a third world country, like just because they're in Africa, they're supposed to be a really poor country. And the whole time, Black Panther was like, yeah, we're gonna let y'all believe that. But no one ever thought to actually go check, because it was a third world country and it's Africa and it's supposed to be poor. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought they didn't have the access there.
If they had just gone and looked, they would have found them, because all you really had to do was like fly into that mountain, and it wasn't like hid or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the way it was presented in the news, everyone believed it enough to not even investigate.
Yeah, I just remember. Dang, I'm trying to spoil it. I can't say what I want to say.
All right, so
yeah, we gonna move on so we don't spoil it for Rashad. But
I'm going to watch Black Panther later today. I'm gonna watch it, sneak it in. I'm gonna just watch it by myself at the Regal on Austell, because that's the closest to my house. It is a black theater, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, that's how it's going down. So for everybody else listening right now that still hasn't seen the movie, please go watch the movie. Support black people. Support a black director, a 31-year-old Ryan Coogler. Support Michael B. Jordan, the dude from Get Out. I don't know his name. I'm sorry, you just the dude from Get Out. I don't care if you're in Black Panther, and forever you're gonna be the dude from Get Out. Who else in it? Pretty much like from what I see,
Angela Bassett's in it.
Lupita,
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Is Lupita? Is that how you pronounce it? Lupita?
I don't even know who that is, honestly.
It's the African girl, the dark skinned girl. She like a model. Mm-hmm. She real pretty, but she her name is like Lupita. All right.
Yes and the wrong guy.
All them folks, shouts out to them. Support them. Support black business, even though the white man gets the most money at the end of the day. Shouts out to Marvel. Shouts out to Disney. But we gonna own our stuff coming up. That's the next step. We show that we can make one of the best movies. We can come to Marvel. We can come to Disney and write some of the best stuff and make some of the best content according to what y'all are telling me. You know what I'm saying? And Tyler Perry said the next step is we gotta own it. He said he's gonna watch Black Panther. He's gonna support Ryan Coogler.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it, Tyler Perry. Don't touch it. We don't need your help. He don't need your help.
But he said
he don't need your help.
I own all of my stuff on the own channel. So it's like,
you don't need your help, Tyler.
No,
don't touch it.
Tyler own his own stuff. Ryan Coogler gonna start owning his own stuff.
Yeah, we rather have.
And then Shonda Rhimes gonna start owning her own stuff, and Donald Glover and his brother gonna start owning their own stuff. So you know what I'm saying? That's the next step. We shown that we can take over. Issa Rae is gonna start owning her own stuff. So you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, you laugh, but hey, Deadpool too. That's Steven and Donald too on FX, and they got a couple other shows in the works. So they give them deals to.
Ryan Reynolds, that's his name?
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
That's the only person I know from Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool, the animated series? That's the one that they're creating for FX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, see? So why you thought it was just Atlanta and I was just riding? No, come on now. Issa Rae, all of them, you know what I'm saying? So that's the next step. We show we can create. We show that we are the best. But next step, we're going to start owning it. And moving on now.
We're breaking into new fields.
But you saw, hold on. You saw folks bringing plates to the movies?
I saw that. That's ridiculous.
I never brought a plate.
That's ridiculous, man.
Plates.
Come on now.
And then in Ghana, they had the drums. And then my friends went to Atlantic Station. Atlantic Station dude had on a full Black Panther costume. The other people had on like dashikis. They either have on like the Black Panther costumes, or they had on dashikis and stuff, and the afros
man.
and.
I mean, that's really no. I mean, if you go to an Avengers movie, though, you got little kids.
Right.
So, you know, it
grown
is.
people,
It is.
not just little kids, grown people.
Yeah, grown people.
If you go to a Batman movie, someone gonna be in a Batman costume.
Star Wars too. That's
Star
another.
Wars. I mean, they gonna bring lightsabers, so
Yeah.
it's just the black people's way. But come on, man, plates. you gonna bring some paper plates with the aluminum foil on it, holding them like this. Come on, man, you gotta do better.
Yeah, we gotta.
You gotta do
than
better.
that, man.
And then in Ghana, they was having the drums and stuff. That was actually kind of like cool, but
Yeah.
it is too much.
But you know, you talking about black people doing things and
Black people.
extending into new fields. We talk about Bubba Wallace a little bit.
Oh, look at that transition from Jeremy. Bubba Wallace.
I'm a huge NASCAR fan.
New guy for Richard Petty Motorsports. If you don't follow NASCAR, Richard Petty Motorsports, that's where all the big stars are. Richard Petty, the king of racing, the king of NASCAR. He kind of races though, but it's all good.
No, that's a good point, because when all the protests and stuff was going on, he said that anyone who does it, no matter what their reason,
He said they're getting fired. They're getting fired.
But then he has an African American
Yeah.
driver, and I was kind of disappointed that Bubba didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, Richard, we need to talk about this. He just kind of went along with what he said. He was okay with it. I wouldn't have necessarily been okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Him not saying anything either, because that was his chance to kind of stand up and say something. I mean, I know you're a rookie and you just getting into the sport, but
Are there any black NASCAR riders?
I don't think so.
Well, they be trying really hard every year at NABJ.
Yeah.
NASCAR be handing out jobs, but who want to race for NASCAR?
I mean, I love NASCAR.
I don't want to say it like that because I never want to close my opportunity to employment.
I mean, I just never see these prominent reporters. No doubt, it's cool covering LeBron and Tom Brady and all these guys, but it's just like you guys are. What about NASCAR and stuff? I know baseball is real picky, but
Yeah.
Black people got baseball riders.
Not saying but
Baseball is just it's picky in general, because if you think about how they pick their Hall of Fame, if you don't have, you played in this era, you don't deserve to be you don't deserve to be in this hall. It's like their sacred keep place.
It's a lack of African American baseball writers in hockey, and compared to football and basketball.
And I don't think so. Well, in baseball, there's not as many compared to basketball and football, because basketball and football,
But look who plays.
in it, yeah.
Just look at the field.
In Atlanta, well, I can't really speak for it that much because I grew up here, so it's like I worked here when I first started. So all I see is mostly press boxes of blacks, unless it's college. College, like Georgia Tech, it's like, dang, where are all the black folks in Atlanta?
It's like I look at
UGA. Oh, where are all the black folks in Atlanta and in Georgia?
As I look at baseball writers, I see they do not speak Spanish or they're white. I really don't see too many.
Not biased.
I can't think of a black reporter.
He's in Atlanta though.
I can't think of a black reporter for a big paper, like a Boston Globe or AJC or LA Times. That's a black writer. I can't.
But how many times do you read baseball stories?
I'll read it if it's interesting.
I mean, do you read baseball? Do you follow a baseball beat like you follow a basketball or football beat?
I mean, when you look in the broadcasting booth though. I can't name you one. And this coming from a guy who watches baseball. During baseball season, I watch a baseball game probably 4 or 5 times a week.
What's her the hiring of Jessica? I forgot her last name, but Jessica on ESPN. Yo, I mean, I thought that was really dope. She's a analyst. She's not even like a sideline person, She gives her opinion. Yeah, Jessica. Her name is Jessica. I hope it's Jessica because I keep saying Jessica. But on ESPN, she's a Hispanic woman, and fairly attractive. She kind of looks like who's that shortstop?
What TV show she's on?
Nomar Garcia Parra. She kind of looks like him.
That's not good.
I know. Hey, bro, yeah, Jessica, whatever her name.
I mean, like, what show is she on ESPN? 'Cause-
She does the show the games.
oh,
And she'll do baseball tonight and Sports Center. She'll be like the little correspondent on Sports Center too.
yeah. See, I know, like
I haven't seen her or heard of her
ESPN, they
before.
put some cuts to baseball, so I had to see like what. I'm not really too big on baseball programming and stuff. Like I know when the game is on, but if you tell me like, oh, this is the show to watch, you're like, what show is it? Like, because I know like A-Rod does a couple shows. And,
Yeah, there really aren't many baseball shows. I mean, because they have a network just for baseball.
You know
like
what
MLB
gets on my
Network.
nerves?
What?
The NFL programming, bro. That gets on my nerves, bro.
Why?
I don't want to see college football live in the middle of April. I don't want to see NFL live right now.
It's really overcovered.
And they do it every day.
There's nothing going on right now.
And it's an hour every day of college football live and NFL live. Like, I understand that it's a 24-hour sports network and you need to fill it out. But how about you give some love to the seasonal sports that don't get as much attention because people want what you feed them. Yeah. So if you give 1 minute and Barry Melrose to NHL, no one's gonna care about NHL.
That's kind of what ruined. That's what kind of ruined hockey for me. Because I used to watch hockey when it came on ESPN. Like
I used to watch baseball.
It was just a normal sport because it was on ESPN all the time. They would have Wednesday night hockey, Tuesday night hockey, or Thursday night hockey. Like, it would come on TV.
Right.
Now we have to have this special channel to see them, and it's on NBC on the weekends.
NBC Sports.
Yeah, you never really know.
All due
when
respect
it's on.
to NBC Sports, we're not trying to watch.
We're not watching that, man. And then, like you said about baseball, even baseball has kind of disappeared from ESPN. Like, you get the
all they do is Sunday night,
and then they do a Monday night game every now and then. There's no more There's no more ESPN day game. Like, they would play a random game on a Wednesday.
And the only stars they promoting is Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
and Giancarlo Stanton. They promoting everybody that play for the Yankees now.
Yeah, or Mike Trout or Bryce Harper.
Mike Trout, Bryce Harper.
That's it though.
They don't even talk about Mike Trout like that.
No, and he's the best player in baseball. Like, that's the best baseball player out there right now.
They talk about Bryce Harper because Bryce Harper make headlines.
Yeah, he hits home runs.
Yeah. I mean,
and they go really far.
Right.
That's cool, but he strikes out almost 200 times a year. That's not good.
So they talking about Bryce Harper going to the Cubs. That's the only baseball news I know from what's going. And there's a bunch of unsigned. But I learned that from the internet.
Yeah.
That there's a bunch of unsigned like all stars. ESPN ain't covering that.
Nope.
The only thing I'm hearing on ESPN is Bryce Harper one step closer to signing with the Cubs in 2019. I'm like, oh, can we get to 2018 first?
Yeah, he's under contract with another team.
You're talking about like the LeBron stuff. When people talk about where LeBron signing in 2014. Joker just signed back to go to Cleveland. And you talking about where he gonna go next. Excuse me. That's something that really just annoys me. The oversaturation of who gonna go where 2 years, 3 years in advance. I don't care.
Yeah.
Until that year.
Maybe they don't go anywhere.
It's the consumers. That's what they like.
That's what they telling us we like.
I love the games. Like, I don't really care who plays where. I like to see moves made to improve teams, but that's for the offseason. Like, right now, for football, I want to know who's going where because it's the offseason.
Right.
Like, I don't care where Aaron Rodgers is playing in 6 years. I don't care. He plays for the Green Bay Packers right now.
I don't care if Belichick is gonna retire in 2020 and they're giving the job to Josh McDaniels in 2020. It's 2018.
Yeah. Like,
as far as I'm concerned, Belichick just lost in the Super Bowl and they ain't looking so good. And they should have lost a bunch of them other games because this is finally a game that they got behind and they should have lost and they actually lost. Mm-hmm. So it's like, shoot, y'all got lucky a couple of them other times with the Pittsburgh and the Atlanta and the Jacksonville. Yeah. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm getting on my little tangent.
Back to Bubba Wallace, though.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make you excited to watch NASCAR, or will you at least take a peek now because he's racing?
First of all, just look at this. We started off the conversation trying to talk about Bubba Wallace, and we ended it talking about football again. So, I mean,
where
black people are always going to support. I'm going to support black people.
I was saying, where can you watch these races? Because
Fox.
Because I'm like, I don't, like,
Come on,
I
dog.
never watched NASCAR in my life.
I understand that, but everybody know that NASCAR come on Fox.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that, dog?
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't watch NASCAR at all, but I know every Sunday.
They don't do a very good job advertising.
I don't.
To be fair, they really don't. And the only reason I know that is because I've been a NASCAR fan since I was 4.
Yeah. I just know NASCAR always comes on Sundays.
Yeah, I
on Fox.
don't have cable, and I just.
I mean, you don't like that. That's
so,
just it's like a football. Like football comes on Sundays on Fox.
I mean, NASCAR does. They race on Saturdays too. Like they'll have a Saturday night race, and
it's just different.
The All-Star races on Saturday.
With football, it's just like you got your schedule.
Yeah.
And you got your schedule. You got radio promoting it. You got social media promoting stuff. It's nothing like on Twitter.
Do you know the time of year when they race the Daytona 500?
I don't.
It's always around the All-Star game and Valentine's Day.
Same weekend. Usually the same
I know that, but I don't watch NASCAR. But these are like basic things that I know.
I mean,
about NASCAR.
The thing about NASCAR is like, you know how David was saying the consumer really likes that. You know, who's moving where and who's doing this, and the whole GM mindset that fans like to have.
Yeah.
I think NASCAR has suffered some of that popularity because that's not possible with NASCAR.
Remember when Jimmy Johnson, I think it was Jimmy Johnson went to Hendrick Motorsports?
No, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. When he was that was the only time NASCAR.
That was the only time it was a big deal
when free agency has been a big deal in NASCAR. Was when Dale Earnhardt Jr. went from his team to Hendrick Motorsports. And he never lived up to the hype of that.
Yeah. He still didn't win.
So, Bubba, how often does he race?
He this is his first full year at the highest level. Like last year, he was at the second level. NASCAR has 3 tiers. There's NASCAR Monster Energy Series, then there's NASCAR Xfinity Series, and then there's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series where they drive trucks. He's raced at the Truck Series level for like 4 years, and he moved up to Xfinity Series last year, and he lost his ride, and then he came back with a team for like a 1 race deal and won that race. Then a guy got hurt in Richard Petty's car. He let Bubba Wallace get a trial. He raced like the last 4 races for him. And they said, hey, we want you to be the full-time driver for next year. That's how he got this ride. So he's a rookie this year. I don't think Bubba Wallace is a very good driver. I really think he's overrated. So I don't expect much from him. And I'm not even really rooting for him because he's just an okay driver. He's just an okay driver. He's not going to win a race this year. He's not going to really be in contention for a championship. I mean, maybe down the line when he gets in better equipment, but driving for Richard Childress races is like playing for like a team like the Hawks. You know, they got good people, but they're never really a championship contender. They haven't been since Richard Petty drove that car. So
since Dominique Wilkins drove the car.
Exactly.
Question, David. Do you know who PK Subban is?
Yeah, he played in the Predator.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm like, damn, we gotta give white people some love, man. Hey, like Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody black.
I mean, it's just, how can I say it? Like, I remember the Sunday that the Pro Bowl was playing,
right?
And they were like, we don't got nothing to watch on TV, so we're just gonna, because the only thing that was on that Sunday was the Grammys and the Pro Bowl and Royal Rumble, and
no, they had on the on ESPN the All-Star Celebrity Bowling.
The what?
With Chris Paul.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Chris Paul good. He's a good bowler, man.
It's just like, was racing going on that day?
No.
Racing starts around All-Star weekend.
Yeah, like the last week was like the first. It was like an All-Star race they had.
So it's just like they have an All-Star. It's not a preliminary thing or anything like preseason.
It's kind of like a preseason race actually. So
around
it don't count. They just get money.
All-Star game, Valentine's Day, and Daytona 500 are all within the same time frame every year.
Yeah, but it don't end until like, let's see, I think it ends in like November,
like October.
Yeah, like it's 36 weeks, but it's like 40 weeks because they take a couple weeks off. It's long, man.
Soccer goes from like March to November.
Yeah.
The only thing I see like racing, like I'll go back to a quick trip, I see somebody race at the Speedway in late February, and I'm like, Okay, does this count? Is this?
I mean, they're in Atlanta next week, so you gotta check it
Chase
out.
Elliott did a media thing.
I know you said
my boy.
I know you said you was going to North Carolina to go watch a race.
Yeah.
Like, so is that championship or something? No,
That's just like a really big event when they go to Charlotte.
So, someone was like, they went to a NASCAR. It was like some black rider, and they were writing about their experience at a NASCAR event. They said they were like Confederate flags everywhere. It's like very dramatic, and I was like, dang, like you make me not wanna go.
Yeah, that kind of
like cause I was like someone, they were like, yeah, I went to a NASCAR event, they had Confederate flags and something, and then the person that worked for NASCAR was like, yeah, we working on that to get them down. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
it's 2018. Y'all talking about we working on to get the Confederate flags down.
That's kind of scary because I mean I'm going to the race next weekend.
Is this your first one?
This will be my first one. So
Is it Atlanta?
it's in Atlanta, yeah.
Oh, that's the one I probably saw the
The
advertisement.
motorsport with the Chase Elliott. Shout out to Chase Elliott. I'm rooting for Chase Elliott.
Oh, is there any
Forget
other
Bubba Wallace, bro.
Is there
I'm
any other
rooting for Chase
prominent
Elliott.
black races that we should know?
Bubba Wallace is the only
But
one.
he's
of us.
only one. That's why it's a
I
big
thought-
deal.
So
He's not good to
I
me.
thought it was a black lady that raced 200.
No,
Oh, no.
you might be thinking about.
No, she's up
The
and coming.
IndyCar?
She hadn't got to
Something?
NASCAR yet.
Oh.
This girl's really young that you're talking about. She may be like 19 or 18. She's really young. Bubba, NASCAR is like young in NASCAR is different than young in basketball. Like Bubba Wallace is 24. That's like too young to compete.
Oh,
Like,
Joey Logano was like 19 when he started. Wasn't
yeah, but he didn't get good until like the last 4 years,
yeah.
and he's 30 something now. Like he's 31 or 32 right now.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Joey Logano. He's like the LeBron of NASCAR. Not in the way like he dominates now,
yeah,
but like the way he came up. He was like just
the chosen one.
Yeah.
he was literally the chosen one.
him, Bryce Harper. LeBron really like the only one that. Well, Bryce Harper is pretty good, but
I used to hear about Earnhardt and Jr.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
He
to me.
was never that good.
It was, but his dad was great, but he wasn't that good. So he was just popular because of his dad,
and some Gordon guy.
Jeff Gordon. And he's
You're not
probably-
serious, right?
Yeah, I really watch. Okay, I'm gonna challenge y'all here. How many NASCAR races y'all heard about in the barbershop?
That's a good point.
It's just like
You right, man.
when you grow up, all you hear high school stuff like that. Did you watch the basketball game? Did you watch the football game? Did you watch wrestling? You know, and I'm like, did you watch Jeff Gordon race last Sunday?
They don't even know what they talking about in the barbershop though.
Yeah, they don't.
They be like, I remember they was talking about Detroit one year, and this was like after Detroit was good, but they still had everybody right before Rasheed Wallace went to Boston, and they was talking about like, yeah, Detroit, they might do it, and I was like, what? This when they had like Allen Iverson and Ben Wallace just came back and. You know,
See, and here's the thing right here. Like, as far as the closest I've seen blacks in race car being, this might be a little young for Rashad, but race car jackets was a trend. But I'm very sure nobody knew who the driver was. They said, I got the Eminem jacket.
Oh yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
I got the Mountain Dew jacket. Well, they couldn't tell you who the driver was.
Yeah, me.
I
was a NASCAR nut back then, so like when I saw those jackets, I was like, "Why y'all wearing fire suits?" Because that's really all they are is they're fire suits, and they made them into
You
jackets.
never had one?
No, I never got one.
Remember in 2013 when everybody was wearing the Premier League jerseys and
Yeah.
nobody watched Premier League. Like,
Yeah.
you know you don't watch soccer. Stop trying to look all
Yeah.
sophisticated with your Premier League kit jersey.
Yeah, I just be like, it's just weird. It's just like, being around, like, you know, you play football, you play in the football locker room, predominantly African American locker room. You know, you just don't hear NASCAR, and then, you know, the people, you know, you go to like, I've been in pretty mixed schools, and I never really heard NASCAR like that, and it's just, you know, you listen to music and stuff. I never hear like in pop music or rap music stuff. I'm gonna pop a Coke or a Bud Light and watch this NASCAR. Like, nah, I'm gonna watch some 2K play some FIFA, but you know.
I mean, it's crazy that y'all. I mean, that you hadn't heard. Even you hadn't heard of NASCAR, like really heard of NASCAR, because it's a track like in South Georgia, like not South Georgia, but south of Atlanta. So it's really kind of close to us because we have a track in our state that's one of the biggest and most historic tracks in NASCAR. And then there's one right next door in Talladega, Alabama. That's probably one of the biggest.
Yeah, Talladega.
One of the biggest. It's the largest track that we have, and it's kind of surprising that people in the South. I mean, I get people, black people not really hearing about it because it's just not. Because there's none of us in the sport.
You know what I just noticed?
And it's just like baseball, where it's a long, boring sport. Yeah. It don't really get good and exciting to the end. Which is like basketball also and football too. So,
but people don't see it that way.
Yeah, they'll just say, well, it's faster and more. There's more stuff happening. That's true, but none of the stuff that happens in a basketball game means anything to the fourth quarter.
I mean, but watching basketball kind of like, you can see a dunk at any time. I don't know. It is the same thing, like as hockey and soccer.
Yeah, you can see a goal at any time. You can see a home run at any time. You can see a crash at any time in NASCAR.
It's just like, I don't know.
I mean, NFL, NBA, they kind of make it like a soap opera. So it kind of draws in like different audiences. I know they just it's sad. It's just like some stuff is good. Some stuff is just like overdrawn stuff. It's just like,
I mean, but it's like in the NBA though. In basketball, I can see three-pointer, dunk, three-pointer, miss three-pointer, miss two,
then
three-pointer. I can see all that in a minute and a half. I mean, that's not a possibility in soccer or hockey or even football.
Yeah, I know that and social media and just the influence that it has on the sport too. Just like, so-and-so said this on Twitter and make you want to watch it, stuff like that.
But you have more chance of a highlight, more highlights, right, in basketball than you do in a soccer or a hockey.
I mean, I looked at soccer and it's like the way people talk about it is like they get excited about stuff, but I have no idea what they're getting excited over.
Yeah,
it's just like did you just see that?
When they had the games,
that wasn't the goal.
No. When they had the games and then don't nobody do nothing, but they like just cross it, and then they're like, it's like a beautiful cross. And you're like,
they didn't score.
I was like, okay.
They're still losing.
All right. Beautiful cross. Hey, Atlanta United's supposed to be really good this year. They got a guy from Europe. And they paid him $15 million. This is the largest transfer in MLS history. Him along with Josef and the other kid, Miggy. Hey, man, Atlanta United. And then a year together, gel. Shoot, hopefully they do something because, like you said, they lost freaking first round like every other team in this city. But
that's my point, Rick. That was going to be my point. Until, I don't care who. Like, I'm not even excited about what the Falcons gonna do in the offseason because until they win something, I don't give a beep. I'm gonna stop myself. I'm about to be really upset. Because it really don't matter who we get because we've had best team in college football and in the NFL for the last 2 years,
I didn't
and
get
we have no
hype
championship.
For the recruiting class because it's like, UGA's always had a strong recruiting class.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it don't matter because we cursed and we're going to find a way to lose regardless of who we got.
UGA had like the most talent with Mark Drake.
That's not true. That's definitely not true.
Yeah, some years they did.
No, they did not.
Some years they did.
I'm going to go ahead and break this down.
Georgia has always been a talented team.
No, they have not always been. Yes. They've had talented players.
Okay.
That's a difference.
Well, what's the difference between
the difference is between having under Mark Richt, we would have 1 or 2 5-star players that they depended on to do everything.
Right.
Kirby Smart has so many talented players that nobody is too important to sit on the bench.
Right.
That's the difference.
All right.
Okay, somebody say the running back get hurt the first game of the year. Season not over. We got another one that can do the same thing. If not,
quarterback get hurt.
Kid come off the bench, he's just as good, if not better. He's gonna do the same thing.
And then that kid get replaced and got to transfer to Washington.
Exactly.
Oh,
but when Mark Richt was coach, Nick Chubb got hurt a couple years ago. Season was over.
Yeah.
There was no shot of us winning anything.
You're right.
So
that's a good point.
That's the difference.
I mean, but even when Chubb got hurt, they had a two-headed monster.
With who? Hey, JJ Green and Brendan Douglas.
Yeah, JJ Green. Yo, we played. we played Camden County in high school, and JJ Green and Bryce Ramsey like tore us apart, man. In the playoffs, like going down there to them southern schools where the whole county playing one high school.
Well, you better,
so it's like an all-star team.
Well, you better ask Georgia Tech how good JJ Green is right now, because that's who he plays for.
Hey, Cavante Benson, shout out to my boy Cavante Benson, starting B-back.
JJ Green's his backup
for Georgia Tech, and he's better. Yeah, he's good, man. I went to the game where he had his longest touchdown run of the year, and I covered it.
Does he have another year? Man. He has one more year.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah, Cavante was only a sophomore last year.
Oh man, he got 2 more years.
He been in college for 3 years, but you know how it goes with injuries and red shirt and all that. So, yeah, Cavante got 2 more years, I think. So, shouts out to Cavante. Moving on now, we were talking about the shooting before we started recording. I know Jeremy didn't want to talk about it because, we say it so many times now, but we had a little disagreement, so we decided to throw it in the show. I feel like we are getting closer to what we need to do, just because I felt like the Las Vegas shooting was a turning point of where people's narratives after, like the way people reacted to it, it wasn't just, oh, that's so sad, thoughts and prayers, why do we live in a country like this, oh no, oh man, why, it's the white people that's the problem, they're the terrorists, not the brown people. That narrative kind of turned into, and forgetting about it a couple weeks later, to we need gun control. Like, thoughts and prayers are good, but we need gun control, we need action. And I feel like we're pushing the issue more, and when pushing the issue comes action. Ultimately, this is an election year. Please vote. We got, in the state of Georgia, we got the governor up for grabs. We got some state representatives, House of Representatives seats up. Some I don't know. I think we have a Senate seat up too. But and then as far as, and then some local elections too. So make sure you read your local paper, learn about your local elections, and get informed. Because party doesn't mean everything, especially on the local level. Party, you can be a Democrat, and have completely freaking all Republican views and Republican opinions, and then vote Republican, but you're black and you're a Democrat, so people are gonna vote for you. Please do your research on these candidates. Don't vote for someone just because they're black. I know I said root for people because, I'm rooting for everyone black, but in politics, you have to make sure that you do your research and you do your homework. Because if you don't, we can end up with many more of these situations with a black house, just as much as we are with this old white house. So make sure you do your research and vote. But I feel like we are headed to a place where change is on the way, because people have changed the narrative to thoughts and prayers, this is terrible, and forget about it next week, to we need action. And forcing that and protesting that is going to lead to action.
I mean, it's okay for people to post that on social media. That's the only difference from, say when the guy blew up that building in Oklahoma City. The only thing that's different is that people can go online and type out, actually, that's not a good way to be. We need gun control. We need this, and we need... Cool. That happened how many months ago? Has there been any changes to anything?
But this time, it's like people are outside the NRA in Florida. Well, I don't know where the NRA is. That's bad. Hey, don't take my... hey. But the people are outside the NRA protesting. Students in the county, in Broward County, in I think that's how you pronounce it, in Florida.
Broward.
Broward.
I mean, that's all that's happened before.
They stepped out with the signs and all that and protested.
All that has happened before.
Yeah, I mean, it happened before with the Vegas people, but I think if you keep protesting something, eventually change is gonna happen.
Yeah, I just don't see the same thing. I think it's just like these black people getting killed by police. It's just another name. I mean, it's just sad to have that mindset, but it's probably gonna be normalized. Just because it's just like, where is it at now? That's the question. Instead of what can we do? Because there's really nothing we can do.
Yeah,
you can vote.
I mean, people.
Yeah, but it's just like we can't vote on what's today? Is the 16th, 17th?
Yeah.
I can't go to vote and there's a change. I have to wait, and then I only have and it's just like, I can't force somebody to vote. And I can't you know, it's tough. I mean, it's definitely, don't get me wrong, I feel bad about the situation because it's just like, who wants to see someone get killed at school? The school's supposed to be the safest place, one of the safest places you can go. We've had it in schools, we had it in churches, you know, we've had it at concerts, you know, it's ridiculous.
Movie theaters, malls.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And
Hospitals.
I mean, I'll say this, I'll do my part and I'll vote. But, you know, at the same time and stuff, it's just, I don't really know what to expect because it's just, I've seen a lot of this, like, you know, we're in a microwave society, you know, short attention spans in America, and it's always, you know, always something else, you know. Here we are, you know, we got all these different, you know, you got the stuff going on with the Russians, then you got stuff out the wall, then you got this school shooting, and what's gonna happen today? I haven't looked at my phone right now. Hopefully nothing happened just now. You know, it's just crazy. It's just a lot, and it's just like, you know, I applaud, you know, the athletes for speaking out and the coaches, Popovich and Kerr, you know, speaking out and stuff, but it's just like,
it's cute to see, but it's not actually doing anything because, like you look, like you just said, it's a microwave society, and by the time it comes to vote, so many different things have happened that they don't remember that. Like, how many people remember that Houston had a hurricane this summer? They still have issues from the hurricane. Right. There are still problems. How many athletes you see speaking out about it? How many people are saying, well, we need to change this so we can get aid to people faster, so we can get power up quicker?
No, we're talking about Puerto Rico.
Nobody's talking about Puerto Rico. What about Haiti when they had that
earthquake,
tsunami a couple years ago? They still have problems from that, and that was what, 8 years ago now. So
the earthquake,
yeah. Like that stuff had like some of these issues that happen. It's cool in the moment to talk about them. Everybody speaks up, and everybody's for the cause for a few weeks, and then when it ain't cool no more, they disappear. But the problem not fixed.
Well, that's selectivism, and that's the age we live in. Like, that's just, you know, I've accepted that a long time ago.
That's why nothing will change.
But I said, I mean, things have changed, though. Like small changes. We've seen small changes because of the selectivism of stuff that started from selectivism. Like, a lot of police reform laws and enforcing police to wear body cameras. Black kids still getting hold on. Black kids still getting shot. Black kids still getting killed. Like that's still there and all that. But we're forcing people to at least think twice. I think folks are thinking more because they know what's at stake when so-and-so, you know, when they're in a situation like that. And same thing with the sexual assault stuff.
Oh yeah, quick question. I've read, you know, body camera didn't work.
Like, so what do you mean?
The body cam didn't work on the cop, you know, so they didn't pick it up.
Yeah, like.
Oh, you're just talking about in a specific case.
There's loopholes that get people out of these things.
There's loopholes in everything.
There are, but that's my point. Like, we can say all these things when it's, you know, this is not like, okay, school shootings and, you know, terrorist attack in general. That's what I'm gonna call them because it's a terrorist attack. That's another thing. Until people are able to come to grips and put it on the news that these are acts of terror, I don't think anything's gonna change. First of all, you can't even acknowledge that this is an act of terror. So why are you even gonna put it? You're not gonna use it as, it's not gonna be something of importance until you label it as what it is.
Oh, and it started something. You had a black shooter in Dallas, and that didn't change anything. You know, someone just, I've heard before, you know, if it's a black shooter, that'll change. We've had a black shooter.
Yeah, we've had a couple, but I don't know. I lost my point, but
yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't mean to downplay people's efforts and stuff, but it's just, you know, Steph Curry is still gonna play his All-Star game tomorrow.
No,
I mean,
my point. I got my point right. I'm sorry for interrupting, but this is not something that is controversial as if it's wrong or right. Like, this is not like, okay, well, somebody's life is in danger and, you know, they have a right to defend themselves. No, this is should people have guns and be able to walk into a school and shoot people with them? Everyone should be able to agree that there is something wrong with that. But this has been happening forever.
People can't agree with that though. That's the argument.
That's why nothing.
Because some people think that you should be able to walk into the campus carry just passed last year.
If we can't rationally agree on that, until we able to rationally agree with that, there's nothing.
That's the point of the conversation.
And then just like, you know, like again, I was saying, you know, just like, you know, Steph Curry's still gonna play a basketball game. Kids still gonna go to school until, you know, the world changes. You know, when America changes. That's gonna change. Those kids, you know, like if I was thinking like maybe kids stop going to school because they're scared. You know, maybe that changed something. But you know, the only thing I've read was, you know, Broward County schools, they're closing. You know, they're not having kids in school. But you know, as far as Georgia, Texas, and various places I've read up on, like school's still going on and stuff. It is.
I mean, the fact that just last year, like I said, the state of Georgia passed campus carry, that tells you everything that the current people in office think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey.
I mean, honestly.
And campus carry, for those of you who don't know, for college campuses, four-year universities and stuff like that, in the state of Georgia, you can bring a gun on campus to everywhere except for in a place where they're playing a game. Like you can't, say Georgia State. You can't bring a gun in the GSU sports arena, and you can't bring it inside an actual building on campus. But you can walk around outside with the gun. Like I could walk into Plaza with the gun.
So what? So where do you put your gun? That makes
in the car.
Okay, that makes sense.
You could leave your gun in the car, and you could walk around with your gun on campus.
Yeah.
You just can't go into like.
So how is that enforced? Like, does somebody come and check your gun? Like, okay, what if you late for class and you don't have time to run in your car and you just, I'm gonna take the gun in here with me today. Who's enforcing that though?
Shoot, it's probably like a thing like weed. Like if you get searched or stopped by a cop and they search you and they find a gun on you, then you know.
How often are you searched and stopped by cops though? That's my point.
Yeah, not that often.
Like, I've never been stopped and searched by a cop, so.
You never been stopped and searched by a cop?
Never.
I've been stopped and searched by a cop. But that's a different issue.
That's a whole nother different issue altogether.
So, one story I wanted to tell. I was at work in the office, and this just hurt my heart so much because I was like, the thing that got me is how another kid gets to walk away in handcuffs. And then they're like, what are you trying to say? And I was like, if that kid was black, he wouldn't have made it out. If that kid was a 19-year-old in Florida with dreads, with his pants sagging, because you know that's how kind of black people the stereotype is in Florida, with the grill, holding up that AR-15 in one hand and holding his hand up in his other hand, you know, to show a sign of surrender, or you know, whatever you want to call it, they would have shot him dead. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, he ran away. They can't shoot him if, you know, he's not in the act or he's not pointing a gun out. And they really tried to explain why they didn't kill him. And then they said it's not about race. And then they said the thing with black people is they're holding on to the past and their past experiences. She's like, you're holding on to your past experience and you're putting out this unfair judgment before you meet people. And I was like, I'm only 23. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I've experienced this much before 23, then shoot, I think I have a right to feel some way about when I have an encounter with a policeman or when I have an encounter with a white person. I mean, that's just how it is for me. And it's like, you know, you always hear white people will never understand the black experience. But it's like moments like that just broke my heart. Like I tried to explain to them so hard. Like I'm like, so what do you say about the dude that was just laying down on his back with his hands in the air and his feet in the air? He's unarmed and they still shoot him. He ain't died, but they shot him. They're like, well, what happened to that cop? Was he? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, I don't know. They're like, exactly. You don't know. They wait for something like that. And it's just like, it's heartbreaking, man. So what do y'all think about that from that aspect with the white versus black?
I mean, I don't know how someone can defend I mean, that's it's obviously, you know, you have a point. So I don't know how you could defend it and say, you know, you have a past experience with something, and you don't have your right to feel a certain way. But then when the argument's reversed, you know, if you see like you said, a black kid with a hoodie and dread, because you've seen black people that have that features act a certain way, you are automatically gonna put us all in that category. That's literally the same thing. So I don't know how they can try to defend their point of view when basically you're saying the same thing they are, except you're accepting it and admitting that it's not, you know, you probably shouldn't do that, but that's just the experiences you had. It don't even have to be their experiences as to why they think that way. Sometimes it could just be what they've seen on TV or what they've heard or what they've been taught. Sometimes if you go, and you're going based off your personal experience, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really sad that it's still going on, but you know, I really applaud the people who have had negative experiences to still try to give people a chance and try to understand, like you said, the black experience. Because if you don't try to understand, you never will. Like, you could just continue to say, well, there's nothing wrong. Well, actually, there actually is something wrong, and it's your responsibility to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes to better understand.
And then, you know what they told me? She said, you know what? If they would have shot him, someone would have recorded it on their cell phone, and then that would have been a big whole thing. I was like, no, it wouldn't. He killed 17 people.
Yeah. No.
There would have been no hashtag All Lives Matter. There would have been none of that.
No.
Not even from the most racist white person on the earth.
No. I don't. Murdering 17 innocent people, I don't care what color you are, that's wrong. That's a person you kill. I don't care what color you are. It's handled differently because he got compassion and understanding from the police. But
just to give y'all some perspective, this is the same person that told me only black businesses she thinks celebrates and honors MLK Day as a holiday. So just to give y'all like a little perspective. So,
you got
anything, David?
I mean, it's definitely sad. I mean, it's just, just at this point, it's become numb to it because it's just like, it just sucks to feel, like you really can't do anything about it. It's just, all you can do is just, hope you're not next.
LeBron James experienced another thing of racism on a huge level with the Fox News lady. Just dribble the basketball and be quiet.
Man.
I'll say with this, it's just annoying. It's just like one of the things they need to stop giving reactions. Like, we ignore her, she doesn't become relevant. And
at a certain extent, you have to kind of bring it up though, because it's like a lot of people don't believe that you still experience racism on that level.
Yeah, it's just like, unless there's always going to be skeptics unless you live right next to them. You live with them, you're never going to know exactly. Just like, there's people questioning. I was thinking Clay Travis, he's over here questioning about the LeBron when he got the sprayed the N-word on his house.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever happened to that? And, it's just, I wouldn't think that LeBron would pay somebody to spray down his house and stuff, just to prove the case. But it's just, stop reacting. Just like what we have to do as sports fans, we have to not react to certain sports personalities that like to target certain, target athletes, and
you talking about what's his name?
I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want nobody to cook.
I know his name, but he said Snacks. You talking about snacks?
There you go. You
He said,
now
the only
somebody
thing
gonna
you can
Google.
comment on is
Now somebody
snacks.
gonna Google. Now somebody gonna Google snacks. I wasn't even trying to acknowledge it.
That sports commentator snacks.
I wasn't trying to acknowledge it. But it's just, people like that, that's how they make their living.
Well, I mean, Tommy Lauren, I'm with her. And then with the Troy Ave interview, like Troy Ave did another interview this past week with Breakfast Club. He's done like 3 interviews with Breakfast Club over the last year. And they've all been over an hour or close to an hour. And it's like, stop giving this dude, like, I don't care anymore. Like, he got shot. It is what it is. Tax Stone went to jail. It's over with. Like, I don't care. I don't want to hear
about Troy Ave is.
You don't know who Troy? Troy Ave's like he's a rapper in New York. He's like really underground, but he was on his way to the mainstream. And then he had a show in Irving Plaza, like I think it was around New Year's or something like that last year. And T.I. was there, and a bunch of other rappers were there, and there was a shooting. Like someone I think was trying to kill Troy Ave, and then so a bunch of the stuff is on surveillance video and all that. Troy Ave ended up going to jail. And then this reporter or blogger, but he's like a hood blogger, Tax Stone, he was sentenced to prison or he was put in jail for murder. So I think he's on trial or something, or the trial about to start. And it's like a big deal, like in the hip hop world. But after the first couple of interviews, why do I need to see a third, fourth interview from this dude? I don't want to hear anymore. Like, I'm done. It's like, you gotta stop. So what people have to do is stop giving him those views. If you, like you were saying, if you don't want to hear about LeVar Ball, stop writing and talking about LeVar Ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you look at just like the movie industry and stuff. Your movie flop, your album flop, you're not gonna get another chance.
Right.
So it's just, you gotta do the same thing as that. So it's just like, Tommy Lauren, people can disagree with her opinion and stuff, but you're clicking the videos, you're tweeting back to her. It's making her money.
Right.
You're not making no money, she's making money.
Yeah, Tommy Lauren, like, it was, they should have cut her off after, like, I think the second thing she said or the first thing she said. Because, like, they're just trolling. Like, that's how they get their views. Like, any attention is good attention, because if you comment on something, that's more engagement for them. That's more interactions. And you bring to a company, hey, I get this much of interactions, this much engagement, and I get this many page views. That's just how the game works in the digital world and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I don't know if people gonna listen 1 hour into this on the podcast on my channel, but if you do that and you like, you one of them folks that be hating on a column or whatever, or any opinion I had online, then it's like you only helping me out and you making me look better, because it's like, dang, I got 6 comments on this and so interactions because someone is having a commenting war on Facebook about the opinion I had. So it's like I win at the end of the day. So I mean, I hope trolls really acknowledge that you actually kind of helping out people. But anyways, moving on from race and all that good stuff. All-Star Weekend. We gotta touch on All-Star Weekend a little bit. John Collins is a star. The Hawks need to hold on to John Collins nice and tight, because with the pause with the biggest rising stars, the youngest stars in the NBA, he held his own. He started and he had some of the biggest highlights of the night, man. How y'all feel about John Collins? Torian Prince, you can let him go. He's expendable. John Collins, y'all need to hold on to him, man.
Okay, I'm gonna say this very nicely. I like John Collins. I think he's gonna be a good, decent player. He's a good, decent dude. Raised very well. But there is no alternate universe or actual universe in which he is a star. So don't even put that out in the universe that he's going to be a star, because the Hawks are dumb enough to where they'll think, oh, he's a star. So we'll pass on Bagley and Ayton and draft a point guard at number 1. No.
Yeah, just Collins, like similar to what Jeremy said, nice guy. Atlanta media loves him. Like I hear a lot about him in the media. Like I listen to radio, read the newspaper quite a bit, social media.
In a commercial.
I had no idea.
That's good for him too.
And just it's nice for Atlanta. but it's nice for Atlanta to have something that that's a decent guy. Give us a little optimism. Despite this little horrible season, but it's anybody on that roster is expendable. I mean,
except for John Collins.
Until Atlanta has a true number one pick type player, franchise changing player, anybody can go. Like, you can find John Collins in this year's draft. You can find one next year's draft. There's just it's always guys like that that's in the league. There's plenty of like John Henson can do the same thing John Collins can do, and they built the same. Probably,
John Henson can't dunk like John Collins.
John Henson can dunk.
Yeah, he can dunk.
But he can't dunk like John Collins.
Yes, he can.
And he's not. And John Collins dunks.
John Henson. I never heard John Henson's name in who should be in the dunk contest. I never heard John Henson.
That doesn't.
The last time I've heard something with John Henson in the headlines was when he got into that fight with like Matt Barnes.
That doesn't mean.
And then it's not like John Collins dunking like Vince Carter and Michael Jordan. He
just dunks really hard. Yay!
He dunks like the bald head man that be wearing the headband. He be dunking like him.
He's like 6'10".
He's 6'8" or 6'9".
Yes,
6'9". Yeah, he's supposed to do dunks like that. I can see like.
But everybody that height can't dunk like that. That's why he's special.
So Jeremy Evans is special.
Yes.
Jeremy Evans won a dunk contest. He's special. He's the same size.
He
He
can
dunks the
dunk,
same
yeah.
way.
No, man.
So can he play basketball? Because he's not in the NBA right now.
But is he special? Yes. That was your question. Is Jeremy Evans special? Yes. He has an athletic gift that is very special.
Is he a special basketball player?
No.
Okay.
John Collins is special.
He's not a special basketball player.
He's a good basketball player
He's a good basketball player.
with the special talent.
Marvin Bagley and DeAndre Ayton and Michael Porter Jr. are special
But
basketball players.
Do you think Kyle Kuzma's just as good as John Collins?
Kuzma's better than John
Kuzma's
Collins.
better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then.
man.
And he's not special.
But
Kuzma's not special.
Kuzma's a great player.
He's a good player.
He's a great player. I think.
So he's LeBron James.
I think Kuzma is good right now, but he's gonna be a great player in his career. Yes, great. I'm thinking-
define great.
All-star starter.
That's not great. That's good.
How is that good? It's
John Wall
If there's 300 people in the NBA, right? Only 10 of them start in the All-Star game, and I think Kyle Kuzma is gonna be one of those 10 that's gonna start in the All-Star game. How is that not great?
Is John Wall great?
No.
Okay, then.
John Wall's like above average.
John Wall starts in the NBA All-Star game.
No, he don't.
Yes, he does.
He ain't start this year.
Yeah, he is.
No, he isn't.
Yeah, he is.
Bro, John Wall is not starting in the All-Star
He
game.
could.
Is the guards are
Is Russell Westbrook-
DeRozan and Kyrie Irving.
Is Russell Westbrook a great basketball player?
Yes.
He's not starting in the NBA All-Star game. He's not. He's coming off the bench.
Okay. He's still great.
He won the MVP last year,
He's still great.
but he's coming off the bench in the All-Star game. That means absolute diddly squat.
Come on, man. You're talking about Steph Curry, who's won 2 MVPs and 2 championships.
Steph Curry's great.
And then I think James Harden, who
James
should've
Harden's
won it.
great.
Those are the guards starting over Westbrook. So what's your point?
And then
You could put him at the 3.
And then it's a glorified,
No, you can't.
it's a glorified popularity
No.
contest too.
It really is.
Yeah, look at the votes.
No.
The votes.
Who's playing center for the West?
Look at the system. Right?
There is no center.
Look at the system. Look at the
Positions
system.
don't matter.
Like, look at the system. There's All Star and there's All NBA. All NBA is better than All Star.
Right.
If you make All NBA first team,
So you telling me if you start in the All-Star game, you're not great?
no, you're not great.
Name one player that's starting this year in the All-Star game that isn't great.
No, I'm telling you,
You
like,
can't do it
I'm
because
telling
they're
you-
all great.
No, I'm telling you, you just vote. That's all you do. Is
Joel
fan-
Embiid is not great.
It's a
Joel
fan,
Embiid
it's
is
a-
great.
He won't
He's
be.
good.
He won't be All
Joel
NBA
Embiid
first.
is great.
Okay, so why Rudy Gobert? Is who's better? Like, why is he?
You
All-Star?
saying Rudy Gobert is better than Joel Embiid?
No.
No, I'm saying he's a great player, but he's never gonna make the All-Star game.
Rudy Gobert is good. Rudy Gobert is good.
Kyle Kuzma's Rudy Gobert.
Joe Johnson is Rudy Gobert.
No, it's just a glorified. Like, people
Just a-
like Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. He'd probably be lucky to make an All-Star game.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell is going to be a great player.
Yeah, but he probably won't make an All-Star game.
Yes, he is.
It's a popularity contest.
He might
Exactly, and Donovan Mitchell is popular.
No,
I don't know why people act like Donovan Mitchell.
No, I'm
isn't
saying
popular.
like you look at
Like,
the
it's-
West. You look at the West. You have
James Harden,
Steph Curry, Harden, Durant, Westbrook,
Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Lonzo Ball's gonna be an all-star. Off his name.
All those guys.
Well, let's look at it.
All those guys play in bigger markets.
But
and
you
those
have-
are brand names.
Okay, but you have to look at it like this. Who are the guys in 06, right? Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant. We thought those guys were going to be in the All-Star game forever, and no one else was ever going to get a chance for the Steph Currys, for the James Hardens. That's who Donovan Mitchell is.
But
and
those,
that's who
those guys made a couple All-Star teams that they didn't deserve to
Marcus don't mean that much anymore because of social media. With a guy like, De'Aaron Fox, with a guy like Donovan Mitchell, with a guy like Dennis Smith Jr.
Then why has Damian Lillard only made 2 All-Star games?
But those 3 guys, because Damian Lillard's not that popular. I mean, when you talk about,
So you just made my point.
okay, but Dennis Smith Jr. and De'Aaron Fox
Are not going to make All-Star games.
and Donovan Mitchell, those are all 3 popular players on social media. Kyle Kuzma has over 1 million followers, and he's just a regular player.
I'll tell you
because
this.
he's popular.
I can
Because of social media.
I get my ex-teammates, tell them to vote for, John Collins. You might see a little boost. But people gonna vote for LeBron just because of who he is. And it's take away from votes. Like LeBron can pull a WNBA pull, take off 3-4 months, still make the All-Star team.
Yep.
Just because of who he is. It's just the system is flawed.
Honestly, I don't
Right,
care.
but-
I don't care about All-Star games. The All-Star games means absolutely nothing. I'm not going to watch it. I do not care.
Kyle Kuzma is going to be a great player.
That just because he starts in the All-Star game don't mean nothing.
Yes.
He's not going to win a championship. He's not going to average 25 points per game. He's not that kind of player, and he doesn't even play defense right now. So
There's literally only a couple of cases where the All-Star starter that was voted in was a joke. Yao Ming, a couple years.
and Dwight Howard for half of his year.
Chill. Dwight Howard every year. Dwight Howard, come on. Hey, see, he did that on purpose. But you already know Dwight Howard's resume. Hall of Fame center, Eastern Conference champion.
I haven't gotten the answer for why Damian Lillard has been one-time All-Star though.
Damian Lillard, I think he's played in a couple All-Star games.
No, this is his second.
This is his
And he be begging for it.
He be begging for it every year. This is his second.
because he in the West.
That's my point, Rashad.
But Nikola
But you can't say he's not a great player, right?
Nikola Jokic is a great player.
Exactly.
He's never gonna make the All-Star.
He's never gonna make the All-Star team. Donovan Mitchell.
I can't say he'll never make it.
Because guys that have
If he get traded to the Washington Wizards, he make it.
no, he won't.
Yes, he would. If Goran Dragic made the All-Star game,
He took injuries to make it.
if Goran Dragic,
They need to get rid of the East West.
Nikola Jokic would get it in the East on the Wizards.
I mean, there's no East West anymore though, so it don't really matter what
They
conference
need to
you're in.
get rid of the East West for the rosters. If you're gonna get rid of it for the game, get rid of it for the rosters and let the West guys get their shine.
I don't see Kyle Kuzma. Back to the point, I don't see Kyle Kuzma is apples and John Collins is oranges as far as I'm concerned. So it really don't. This argument really don't matter because
Kuzma's better.
Kuzma's better than John Collins. So John Collins will never be Kyle Kuzma.
But I'm saying John Collins could be the third best player on the championship team.
But that's like saying, okay.
That's a lot of players can be like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that could be anyone. If you got Steph Curry and LeBron James on the same team, I could be the third best player on that team, and we would win.
So you saying Draymond Green the scrub?
No, it's just that's how stacked their team is. But I'm saying like you can put Kent Bazemore, Dennis Schroeder.
All right, so you telling me if you took off Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and you put in Bazemore instead, that the Warriors will still have the best record in the NBA?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not.
The Rockets would beat them.
No, they would not.
The Rockets would beat them.
They would not.
KD and Steph.
I disagree.
That's it. The Rockets will beat them
With their offense and their bench.
Sure,
No.
the Rockets just lost to the Warriors without Curry just recently.
Yeah, like 2 weeks
They
ago.
had Dwight and Harden, and that's in the playoffs. And that's pathetic.
I mean, but this team is better.
Okay. We're gonna see.
This Rockets team, y'all comparing that Rockets team to this Rockets team?
Why is this team better?
Chris Paul?
It's literally the same team if you really think about it. Clint Capella is just Dwight Howard now.
Who was the point guard?
It don't matter.
Jason Terry? Jason Terry versus Chris Paul, and you telling me what's the difference?
Chris Paul is basically playing what Jason Terry did. He's not Chris Paul, not the one who has the ball all the time. He's Jason Terry. He's playing off the ball, so he doesn't really exist.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, you got Ryan Anderson, doesn't play no defense, and you got a bunch of average guys like Mute, PJ Tucker, Bobby Brown. You know,
why's that two's name?
And not new edition Bobby Brown either.
Yeah, it's just,
you're in the NBA, man.
Yeah, it's just average, man, and just.
Oh man.
Like Golden State, I don't even think they're playing hard. You know, it's just, and you know they have a great.
You can't tell me Kim Bazemore was already on the Warriors
When he was like 12.
All right, if Kim Bazemore was the third best player on the Warriors, they would not win the championship.
They would.
Y'all can't be
Kim Bazemore was the third best
Two
player.
players don't win it anymore. OKC is better than that because they got 3 players.
Kent Bazemore was the third best player on the Hawks, and they made the playoffs for 3 years.
I don't even.
but
Without a star.
third best? No.
Yes.
Hold on. Let's
Paul Millsap and who else? Dennis Schroeder.
Alice.
He never. I'm talking about when Alice left.
You said the last 3 years.
Last 2 years.
The last 2 years.
Yeah.
Alice was gone the last 2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean he was gone just 1 year.
It was 1 year. Okay, so he's still the third best player. Alice,
No.
and Paul Millsap, and then Kent Bazemore.
It was Millsap, Dennis, and then Dwight. Come on now. Hey man, all right. So with that, we're gonna wrap up an hour and a half edition of the A-League. I got a little bonus here. I wanted to talk about the All-Star game, and you know, there's no more restrictions because we're not in the studio. We in the car. We kind of living outside this car. So pray for us. Cash App link in the description. Cash App link in the description. So you already know, man. Everybody go on, sign out, man.
All right, this is David Norwood at DNorwood90.
This is Jeremy Johnson, Clark_Kent_75. I get my Superman on.
You. And this is RashadMilligan.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRealDonovanMitchell. All right, A-League. Is anyone going to do it? King Balaam? Oh, you already stopped it.
I already stopped it.
All right.
Let's press this.
Yeah, you can stop.